Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Welcome to the Free Thinker Army. Welcome to Free Thinker Live. Welcome to the Matt Kim podcast. We got like a million names, but I'm glad you guys can join us today. I've been thinking about it today because yesterday was Memorial Day, and I can't stop thinking about it. America is the greatest country in the face of the earth. Greatest country in the history of our lifetime. Not only our lifetime, but probably the history of all lifetimes.
Amen, baby.
And I think that's why we're so damn mad. Because especially on Memorial Day, where we remember the soldiers that died for our freedoms, the people out there that gave the most selfless thing you can do is to sacrifice your life for people that you don't know, people you've never met, people that you have no idea if they exist or not, just for the ideals that you're protecting. And on a day like yesterday, to see how to shit so much of this country has gone, it's really infuriating. It really pisses me off because they die selflessly. And we know now that a lot of the wars that they've died in have been for other people's benefit, not for our benefit, but for establishment benefit. We know that we are lied to constantly. We know that, I don't want to say they died in vain, because what they do, again, is the most selfless thing you could possibly do, which is sacrifice yourself for the benefit of others. So I don't want to go too far into it. I just want to take a quick moment to remember them, to think about them, to thank them, appreciate them, maybe say a prayer for them. Because they deserve better. I think we deserve better. And I think we're making a difference. I think we're fighting back. I think people are waking up. And hopefully what this show does is encourages people to speak out, encourages people to look past the narrative, to think about issues in our lives that sometimes you care about, sometimes you don't care about, but sometimes some of them are important. Some of them, it's just for fun. Welcome to the show. Appreciate having you guys here today. I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Peter Saddington.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Matt Kim podcast, Free Thinker Army. Smash the like button. Make sure that you join the Discord and the Telegram. Lots of stuff is going on all over the world. We got contributors and people that are telling us what's going on. It is great to be part of the community. Welcome, guys. We're glad you're here.
So this weekend was the Libertarian convention.
Yes, the very libertarian
And
convention.
the thing about the Libertarian convention, the thing about libertarianism is that before I was overly political, I feel like being libertarian was a cool thing that people said to kind of be cool.
It certainly was a little bit more off color than being a Republican or being a Democrat, for sure.
I don't want to identify as Democrat. I don't want to identify as Republican because the Republicans were a bunch of nerds and the Democrats were a little bit too crazy for my liking. And we all believe in smaller government. We all believe that the government should not interfere with our lives. So people are like, oh yeah, no, I don't know if I agree with the conservatives, so I'm a libertarian. How many times have you heard that?
So many times. And generally, they don't have a good reason for it.
And if you look at what libertarianism is, it's a political stance generally known as the idea of individual liberty, responsibility, self-ownership, and free choice. It says that the government should have less control over the lives of its citizens and let them be responsible for themselves without the involvement of the government.
Absolutely.
When I hear that, I'm like, let's go.
I have claimed in the right context, I have claimed to be more libertarian than anything else, mostly based on that final part that you just brought up, which is less government in my life, please, is the whole idea for me.
There were times where I'm like, maybe this is something that I could buy into. This makes sense. And I looked through the papers and I looked through kind of the website and the talking points. I'm like, all right, I think I agree with a lot of this stuff. And then
Co-opt?
And then I watched the Libertarian National Convention.
Well, so just put a pause on that for a second. A true libertarian is, in my perspective, is someone who truly believes in two facets: personal responsibility and less government. Underneath that guise of personal responsibility and government is this idea of self-ownership, sovereignty over your own values, sovereignty over your own data, sovereignty over your own life. Now, what this often reveals itself as, Matt, as, let's just say, people who take that idea so seriously that they don't mind showing up exactly the same and they look exactly the same as they are when they're going out to a nice restaurant, as they are hanging out at home in front of their computer. And so there's this kind of like laissez-faire, like free love, like, hey, it's less government. I'm personally responsible. Because I'm personally responsible, let me do my thing. And I'm just going to look like however I look like. The problem is that can turn people off because you look like a scrub. That makes sense? Like libertarians generally, whenever I meet them, you're like, you kind of stink. It's like going to like a goth party. You ever go to a goth party? You know how bad that goth party smells?
What? I thought that the Libertarian National Convention would be a serious thing.
Yeah.
And then I watched it and I was like, holy shit, this is a joke.
Well, it's a bunch of
This
libertarians.
is embarrassing.
Yeah, it's a bunch of hippies.
I can't believe I even considered thinking about this stuff.
The optics definitely, let's just say, dissuades you from the message.
And I have never really observed and seen the party before, so I didn't have a huge context. And then the first time I'm like actively watching it because President Trump was going to be there and I was curious to see what happens. And I was like, bro, this ain't it, man.
They don't ooze a professionalism that I think is somewhat of a requisite and somewhat required to kind of be taken seriously. How's that?
And then all of the talking heads that for the years are kind of Trump supporters, but like, no, but I'm not a conservative. I'm a libertarian. Now I'm like, bro, what the hell have you guys been doing for the last 4 years?
Hanging out in the basement.
It's kind of, dude, that room must have stunk.
Yeah, it's grimy. That's what I'm saying. Like, the last time I went to a goth party was in high school because goths, that was like the thing. Like in the 80s, you dressed in parachute pants and you're really happy that you got over that. In the 90s, you dressed up as a goth, you had makeup on, and you're really happy you got over that. In 2024, the problem is you cut off your penis, you can't get over it. And so, dude, today's trans is the 90s goth. The only problem is you can't get over it. Anyway, the point is the last time I went to a goth party was in the 90s. I'm telling you, that room smelled like bodily fluids.
You keep on...
That's like,
wait, when did you go to a goth party?
In the 90s in high school. Didn't you guys go to like the jock parties or the goth parties or like the gangsta rap parties and shit?
I've never been to a goth party.
The goth party is the one I skipped. I'm just saying,
Don't you guys
man.
remember Junko jeans, like the stovetop jeans and shit? Like you could put your entire body in one of those pant legs. You don't remember that, Will?
Oh no, I had Jinko jeans. I just never went to a goth party.
You guys are a bunch of nerds. You guys didn't. You
Dude,
guys
I
didn't
totally
li-
rock
you,
the
you-
Jinkos,
you
too.
You rock the Junkos?
Of course.
Of course. So you just didn't go to the parties.
No, like I guess I wasn't cool enough to go to the goth parties. to be
Clearly not cool
libertarian.
enough.
And why do you keep on looking at your damn laptop when I know damn sure that your laptop doesn't work?
Dude, I'm rocking the Matt Kim podcast.
Dude, show them your laptop again. What the fuck is this?
Oh, you guys can't see it. Oh, damn.
Give the camera. What the hell did you write there?
You see that?
The all seeing eye. So stupid. You are literally streaming today, staring at a cartoon dick.
Guys, hey, we're on a shoestring budget, man. Shoestring budget. Someday I'll get this laptop to work.
Maybe one day we will get a real sponsor and we'll upgrade your laptop. How about that?
I would appreciate it.
So President Trump went to the Libertarian Convention this weekend.
Yes. Well played, by the way.
I thought his speech, I don't know if you watched it, I thought the speech was fascinating because he walked into the speech in an extremely hostile crowd.
I know, going in a den of wolves.
They were booing him and they were not happy that he was there. And every time, he even promised that he would put a libertarian in cabinet, which I don't know if this is the best political. I get it.
Libertarians, yes. Yeah. He said multiple. So that got a couple riling out of the crowd.
But by the end of his speech, they were cheering for him.
Yeah.
It was almost like this masterclass of how to win over a crowd.
Persuade.
It was really good.
It was.
It was fascinating to watch just because he went from so hostile to cheering, and the people that were there, and he even did it by almost mocking them.
I caught on that. Yeah, he was a little satirical on a couple. I was like, "Ooh, that was kind of a dig, bro."
Oh yeah, you're gonna boo me? Keep on getting your 3%.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was like, holy shit! I
man.
can't believe he said that.
Well, I mean, Trump has a way of stating the obvious and things that are important. Like, you're only getting 3%, so let's be rational here is essentially what he's doing. But he does it in the Trump way, which is a little bit of a jab, but also he's really good at not backtracking, but continuing the flow of conversation. Right, so you don't get left on that like nugget or that huge anchor of like, oh, did he just say that? That was kind of rude. Nope, he keeps on going. Really good at communicating and keeping things moving.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hostile environment. I can't imagine Biden walking into such a hostile environment to give a speech.
His handlers wouldn't allow him. He would lose out.
I thought that was really respectful. I thought that was really cool to see.
So here's the question I have to ask you. Do you think Trump will continue to, let's just say, bring over the independent/libertarian base? Do you think that's going to be a strategy for him moving up to the November election?
I think he picked up a lot of libertarian voters and people over the weekend. He only got, during the nomination period, he only got a handful of votes, but because he's not on the ballot and they had to write him in. I think more interesting is that RFK got 2% of the vote. What the hell is he doing? How is RFK an independent candidate and he can't get the third party, like more than 2%?
So look, give me your TLDR. Took too long. Did not read summary of RFK. What are your thoughts about him? I don't think we have had a Matt Kim opinion piece or puff piece on this. What do you think about RFK?
I don't think statistically he can win.
For sure not. No.
And I don't know why he's doing what he's doing. I think it's really self-serving because if he really wanted to run as an independent candidate, you should start as an independent candidate, not as a Democratic candidate. Can't get through the Democratic system and all of a sudden like, oh no, I'm an independent. No, like you couldn't make it as a Democratic candidate. If you can't beat the Democrats in their game within their own side, how are you going to fare in a general election?
But wouldn't that require him to essentially sell his soul to the man?
I mean, apparently he believes in full-term abortions, which is weird. Apparently he has a brain worm or a worm in his brain that ate part of his brain. Fucking weird. We also looked up how do you get these brain worms, and you get it by eating feces, and then he has a history of like drug use. So I'm like, okay, did this guy get a brain worm by eating dirty ass? That's fucking weird. So,
Oh my gosh! I did not expect that coming out of your mouth this early in the stream, Matt. Is he messed up because he ate dirty ass? Oh my god!
I don't know.
Somebody clip that, please.
There are a lot of weird questions about him. We know that he made his name by being so anti-vaccine, but then we find out that at his holiday parties, he required people to be vaccinated or get a COVID test.
That's true.
I think we saw that somewhere. I think we have that saved up.
Probably have that clip. But I do want to give a shout out to everybody who's in live chat. Thank you so much for being here. Smash the likes button. Thank you, D-Storm Redleg, who said, hello, my Chinese friends.
Nice.
I gotta love that, bro. Yeah, we're repping the Chinese National Party here, guys. Don't let anybody know. But welcome. Let's bring up this clip. What do we got here?
No, it's RFK. RFK Jr. admits invite to holiday party.
Asked for people to be vaccinated or tested for COVID. Quote, I guess I'm not always the boss at my own house, vaccine skeptic says.
So
if he can't win over his own wife, and he's got a book about anti-vax, and he can't win over his own wife, who has the pants on, man?
if you wrote a book about anti-vax and you believe that getting vaccinated is bad, then why would you encourage or require people to be vaccinated to come to your thing? You're almost wanting your guests to get sick and die. Either that or you don't believe it. It's one of the two.
Yeah. Apparently, from the Spanish flu, if you actually dig, you'll realize that most of the people who died from the Spanish flu actually died from bacterial issues from all of the masks that they wore. Interesting. I hope you guys are taking notes.
So I thought that was weird. There's so many questions about him, and he has a very questionable history with drug use, with
Can I give you my opinion?
infidelity.
Infidelity and yes, drugs as well. Here's my really short version. I think he's just a distraction. If you were to put a picture of RFK on the wall, the way that I look at it is the picture would be hard to see because there's so many holes in his picture. And what I mean by that is it's really hard to put together a narrative of who this guy is because there's so many gaps, holes, inconsistencies, and things that are just like make you go, right? That's like a Matt Kim thing, right? And so that's my issue is that I can't peg RFK to a particular thing that would be votable. Does that make sense? Like, a lot of people are one issue voters, right? I just can't peg RFK to a one issue where I'm like, damn, that would take me all the way with him. I can't find that with him. So I find RFK to be very porous in terms of being able to figure out who he is and what he really stands for.
And people try to make it sound like he's a everyman, common man, but he's a Kennedy.
Trust me, he's not a common man. He's hanging around in yachts.
He's a Kennedy.
Guys. When was the last time you hung out in a yacht? Right? Trust me.
The other day.
You did?
No,
I don't know.
It was a kayak.
It was a canoe, guys.
But I don't know. So I don't get it with him. I understand why some people like him because he's different. People don't want to pick one side or the other. So he's kind of that third party that says the right thing, especially about COVID. But he doesn't believe it because if he did, he wouldn't ask his guests to be vaccinated in order to come to his party. So, but he says the right things.
He does. He's kind of like the Pete guy, Buttigieg.
But I think we've seen that even though he's supposed to be this third party, anti-establishment, anti-vax guy, that the third party libertarians, actually, he didn't win any of them over.
So here's an odd question. It just came up in my mind. Do you think he'd do better if he didn't have the voice issue? Because let's just be intellectually honest, man. That voice issue,
it's annoying.
It rubs me the wrong way, and you can't knock that against him. It is what it is, but it just rubs me the wrong way where I cannot concentrate on what he's actually saying. And if people are ignorant of this idea, they need to wake up. If you're going to lead a country, you need to be able to be an effective communicator / speaker, in which we obviously have the best model right now because we have Joseph Biden, the best communicator of all time.
I think it definitely goes against him because people are wanting for someone that communicates effectively because Joe Biden is such a poor communicator.
Oh, jeez.
And it may be a step up from Biden, but in contrast, Trump is such a good communicator. Yeah. So I think that makes it really difficult for people. It's just not big enough a difference. It's like, do you want to go from the bumbling idiot to the guy with the really difficult to listen to, hard to listen to voice? I think that's tough.
It's unfortunate. It really is an unfortunate.
And he's a smart guy. We're not going to take that away from him. He's a smart guy. He has interesting ideas, although I don't agree with a lot of them. But that voice thing, it's really tough for people.
It really is. And it's unfortunate that it's one of those things he can't change. But guess what? That's life. Politics is nasty. And if you don't have a complete package, you're not going to get very far.
And I think he has to prove that he has the ability to win anything political. He's never ran for any political office before. He has no history of any sort of success. He's wrote a book, and he was an environmental lawyer.
Yeah.
And people will say, well, he's like the most famous environmental lawyer out there. Like, dude, name another environmental lawyer. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who's keeping tally of them? So I think it's weird. I think it's difficult because, again, he has no proven success. The one time he actually put his name into a political arena to gain votes, he got 2%.
Not very good, brother.
You got to win something.
How much? Do you know how much money he's raised? That's the question. Because the unit economics will tell us efficacy. If he's raised a ton, but he's only getting 2%, it's like, bro.
Oh, I'm gonna say he's got to be over $100 million in. Easily over 100 million, maybe longer.
Not moving the needle, brother. It's time.
Yeah, well, see if you can look that up. How much money has RFK's presidential campaign raised? It should be pretty public and easy to find.
So do you think with all of these things that are happening building up to the presidential election, Matt, do you think people are eventually just going to capitulate and say to themselves, which to be quite frank is what I'm saying to myself, which is, you know what? I'll take my chances with the orange man. Do you think that's how it's going to be?
I think that's all it is right now.
Yeah.
How was life between 2016 and 2019?
Much better than 2020.
And most people will say it was pretty damn good.
Much better than 2020.
Not the worst.
Not the worst.
Even if you're having a hard time, it wasn't as bad as it is now.
Oh, for sure.
It was a little bit easier to make money. You felt a little more safe. The only bad about those 3-year stretch was the news telling you Orange Man bad.
Yeah.
Outside of Orange Man bad, it actually wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't.
And then you have COVID, and then you find out all these weird billionaires and establishment, and these people above us were very involved in COVID and the lockdowns and all this, and you start to understand and unveil kind of the truths around the world. You're like, and they're all on Biden's side.
Yep, it's interesting. How and the question that is ringing in my mind is, when are people going to have enough? You know. So what have we found here for Robert Kennedy? Will, how much money has he raised? What does it look like? We got
Looks like 95 million.
100 million. So 100 million is good. I mean,
About 100 million.
100 million, man. I don't know. I'll tell you, I could do a lot.
That's a lot of damn money.
I could do a lot of damage with 100 million, brother, and it wouldn't be trying to get 2% of the population vote, man.
Well, it's not 2% of the population. It's 2% of the Libertarian Party.
2% of the Libertarian
So,
Party. Even worse, man.
2% of the party that would most closely identify with him, he got 2%.
So, do people need to start having conversations, Matt, about like the independent party, the liberal parties? They're just not doing anything.
They're just not gaining people. Their ideas are just flawed. They are not resonating with the people. The only thing.
What do you think? What do you think the independents and the Libertarian Party has to do? Because the relevance is shite, and the relevance has always been shite. I remember Ross Perot back in the day. Do you remember Ross Perot?
Of course.
And it's never, as long as we've been alive, and we're 4 decades deep on this planet, it's like the Libertarian and independent parties, y'all are just not really doing much. And frankly, we're putting all this campaign money behind things that are ineffective. So if just as a business owner, I look at the independent party and the Libertarian Party, I'm like, you're just doing bad business.
I mean, number one, they need to start earlier. If you're going to be a third-party candidate and you're going to try to run an independent or a third party or whatever it is, you need to start earlier. You have, from today until the next election, you have 5 years. 4. Get to work now. Why do they always start the year of the election? Like, oh yeah, we're going to spend $100 million and we're going to win an election. No, like if you cared, you'd spend the next 4 years of your life trying to figure out how to make a difference.
Right?
They always start at the end, and they always just throw someone in, hoping that person sticks. They're just playing politics, and people know. People see through it. That's really what it is. You can tell when people are disingenuous.
Yes.
And to start, I'm going to run for president. I'm going to be a leader of the free world, and I'm going to start making my case December before the election, 1 year before. People are like, no, if you really cared, you'd be talking about these issues. You'd be getting involved.
Yeah.
You'd be trying to figure out how to make a difference for years before that. You'd have a history of being involved, but they don't. They just jump in like, oh yeah, no, like I have $100 million, so I'm going to run for president. Like, no, like we don't know who you are.
Actually make a really good case. I hope everyone out there was listening to Matt's little diatribe here, because everything that Matt said is absolutely true. If you truly believed that you have a chance to win the presidency, then you would start ASAP as soon as the previous election cycle has kind of run its course and, you know, all the media die down. But you can't just wave your hand in the air, 9 months before election and say, oh, looks like no other independents out there. Yeah, just give me all your money. $95 million. We'll take it all. We'll try. It's like, bro, you are an opportunist.
Yes. And that's how all politics are, mostly.
But I'm thinking deeper into this equation, Matt, from what you said. Like, these guys have jobs the other 3 years of the election cycle. And I know they want to make money. I know they got to do their thing. But if they have other jobs 3 years out of the 4 year cycle, and they only spend 1 year, trying to get a presidency, you're not that serious.
Yeah.
You just had a job for 3 years, and you're be like, you know what? I had a job for the last 3 years, and it made me $400,000 a year. But you know what? This year, because of my advisors told me that I could become the potential independent, I could scrounge up $95 million this year, and instead of making $400,000 like I did the last 3 years, I could clear like $2 million out of all this stuff. I just have to go in there and take dicks to the face all day as people tell me that my voice sucks. It's just like I mean, come on. What Matt is talking about has a deeper gravity that I'm latching onto, which is you're not serious. You were never serious. You're just an opportunist taking the money and having a nice ride. It'll increase your status in the world because you were running for president, right? It's so lame. Just hand over the keys and say, you know what? I'll take my chances with the orange man.
If you're going to spend $100 million to run for president, which is nothing, 'cause that's just the beginning.
Oh, yeah, nothing compared, yeah.
If you're going to spend anything remotely in the millions to run for president, why not just spend the next 4 years, take no money, forget your business, have someone else run it? Why don't you dedicate the next 4 years of your life to your campaign, to building, to putting it out there, and then 4 years later, start a real campaign?
Because then you could legitimately say, I believe in this mission. Nobody shows up 9 months before election and says, I believe in this. No, you didn't.
No.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because the mission's going to end when you lose on the November election, when you're clearly not going to get it, and you're going to be like, well, at least I got $2 million out of that $95 million kickback. It was pretty good, Matt. Good run, right?
And do you know why they don't do it? Because they're scared. Because they're cowards. Because what if...
You don't truly believe libertarian ideas if you don't live your life that way.
What if I spent the next 3 years of my life saying I'm going to run for president, and I get to year 4 and no one likes me? What if I lose? And that's what I built my persona on. People are scared. But if you jump in at the finish line, be like, oh, no, like it didn't work out. I tried. It's a little bit different, giving it a college 3-month try versus giving it 3 or 4 years of your actual life. No one wants to make the sacrifice of their pride. No one wants to make the sacrifice of their business. No one wants to make the sacrifice of inconvenience for themselves for the greater good of others. They would rather jump in at the end, be like, oh, it didn't work out, move on. Because I didn't really try that hard. Oh, no, the system was rigged against me. That's why it didn't happen. Try dedicating your life to this.
Interesting. If I could make a juxtaposition real quick, one could almost say that Mr. Donald J. Trump, the last 4 years of his life, has actually been trying to live the mission over the last 4 years. So one could actually say that Donald J. Trump is the best example of someone who has actually, over the last 4 years, suffered greatly for the mission of making America great.
He has literally been campaigning since 4 years ago.
Yeah.
For 4 years, President Trump has been campaigning, putting out his message, getting out the word about what he's doing. Maybe it's a little bit less sometimes, a little bit more sometimes, especially 2 or 3 years ago. But he's been constantly in your face, letting us know that he's going to be involved in politics, that he's going to run for president, that these are where ideas are, building a community around him, communicating with people. He's been doing it for 4 years. Name one other presidential candidate that's been campaigning for 4 years.
Man. And we can even, wow. Well played.
At least, worst case scenario, he cares. Because if he didn't care, he would not have been spent the last 4 years of his life doing this campaign.
And if he didn't care, he wouldn't be accepting of all of these, crazy things that are happening to him with all the getting sued. No one wakes up in the morning and says, let me see if I can have over 100 indictments on myself and spend my entire life this year in court. No one wakes up and wants to do that. You only do that because you have a goal that you want to achieve, and you have to go through the dick smacking to get
you
there.
And your dicks today, bro.
It just is what it is, guys. So, these types of conversations give me even more confidence that Trump is at least trying. If we were to make another comparison, which would be deadly for those that care, but the other comparison that deadly is compare Trump to Biden's campaigning. Does he do any? I think the answer is 0.
No, he even last election, he was not even the favorite. He was not the front runner. They were just so bad on that side. He's the one that somehow survived it, and survived is a really weird word, and then did no campaigning.
He was chosen.
No one is going to say Joe Biden really cares.
Now remember,
no one would ever say that.
82 million votes.
That's a lot of damn votes.
That's a lot of votes for one
votes.
of the most popular
Good for him.
presidents in
Super
history.
popular. I'm thinking about getting a Biden shirt.
Oh.
Except it's really hard to find them.
Because they're always sold out.
Always sold out. The Biden shirts are always on back order.
Guys, everybody out there, we're trying to find Biden shirts. Clearly, they're sold out all over the globe. You guys let us know how we can get some Biden swag. That's what we want. We want some
Biden
Biden swag. Where can we find Biden swag?
www.bidenswag.com.
Oh, there you go, guys. And not safe for work. Don't go there.
Don't go there. I have no idea where that no idea where that
Don't be
leads.
typing in random
Definitely don't
domains.
click it in and be like, oh, Matt told me to click it. Don't do that.
It might be
Don't
some.
do that.
It
Don't
might
do that.
end up being some
Don't do
hentai
that.
shit.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. 82 million ballots, not votes. Interesting.
Oh, fair enough.
I like that.
M. Lelou. Well played.
So did you see the guy that actually did win the Libertarian nomination?
I think I did.
Can we just find the picture of him?
Oh yeah. Oh man, he's.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Paula.
Yeah, the guy. Oh, thank you, Paula. Thank the mods. Want to buy a coffee for Matt, Peter, and Will. Thank you so much, mods. Really appreciate it. We got to have some coffee right here, my friends. Right here, what you're seeing on your screens is the epitome of the American male.
How is this guy supposed to be the anti-establishment guy? We don't believe that the government should tell us how to live our lives, but I'm literally gonna be the guy.
I mean, he has three things against him. Number one, obviously, is the mask. Number two is obviously the shirt. And number three is that part in his hair. Like, everything about his persona clearly is exactly embodiment of the American male in 2024. Now, if he were... Man, you know what this picture reminds me of, Matt?
What's that?
I've seen some memes, and the memes are two pictures often, right? A juxtaposition of men fighting in World War II, or World War I at Stalingrad, or some, just doing man shit. And then the other is like a soy boy with his, coffee cup, looking just like this guy, pale AF, probably never goes out in the sun, gets no vitamin D, but he's getting the big D.
Legendary Bear, thank you.
Thank you, Legendary Bear. Appreciate it a lot.
Hey, do you know who this guy kind of looks like?
He just looks gay AF, man.
He looks like Tom from MySpace.
Dude, where did that... Tom from MySpace, if you remember, he got bought out for $520 million, and then he just... into the air.
It's a good day for him.
He's
living his best life.
maybe this is Tom.
Dude, it kind of looks like him, no?
All I know is, like, I wouldn't want my children to be around this man. Does that make sense? Wax and facts. Like, this guy is all sorts of wrong. So he is the Libertarian nomination for president.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, okay, there are prominent libertarians out there and that are vocal, that are very in the kind of talking head space.
Right.
And this is what your party does. What the hell have you guys been doing for the last 4 years?
It's so obtuse.
This is the result of you guys being your libertarian talking heads that represent your party to the media. And the best you got was this flaming homo. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? It just proves, number one, that you guys aren't effective at what you're doing. You guys don't actually care about the party you say you represent. And that...
No, they're like...
You guys are just talking heads. You guys are just entertainment.
Well, they've had...
And we are entertainment.
Well, but...
Take that.
But we actually get more credit than these guys. Because to nominate someone like this tells me two distinct things. Number one, you're not engaging the world. Clearly, this is not the right message for today's culture. Or let's just say the cultural, pushback on these types of things. And number two, which I think is even more important, it's an obtuse perversion of what the libertarians actually stand for, right? Libertarians stand for personal responsibility, less government, right, in two nutshells.
That's what I thought. But then you have this guy.
So clearly, you guys are so obtuse, libertarians, and you haven't engaged the world because you've been hanging out in your basements, and smelling like goths.
Why do they all look like Reddit gamers? You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Like, I saw this meme of this really ugly fish, and the meme was, if you put the blue wig on this fish, it looks like a Democrat. It's like, I mean, they all have a smell to them, and sometimes when you look at pictures like this, you get to the point where I can smell that guy through the screen, and that's not a good thing. You don't ever want to talk to yourself and say, I can smell that. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Libertarians, I think you guys are a fail whale. I think you guys have epically failed. I think it's time for you guys to look at yourselves seriously in the mirror and say, you know what? It's time to take a chance on the orange man. That's like my theme these days. It's you know what? Let's take a chance on the orange man.
Well, it's not even to take a chance because we've already lived through it. This is the first time in history that we have the ability to know how each presidential candidate has performed in the past. Usually it's an unknown versus unknown. This year, it's a known versus unknown.
Well said. Yeah, it's a known versus unknown. We know what 4 years under Trump looks like, and we certainly know what 4 years under Biden is looking like.
And then you have idiots like Robert De Niro. Like, whoa, what the hell happened to that guy?
Oh my gosh, that guy, he took a slice of the crazy pie.
Why is Robert De Niro this flaming liberal?
Well, because...
What the hell happened to him? Dude, he was so cool.
He was cool.
So cool.
He was cool until he started diddying people. Once you get into the Diddy world...
You love Diddy.
Well, you know...
Love it.
Let's see what... Let's
love it.
Let's stop projecting our own ideas. Let's hear what Robert De Niro has to say.
Where is he?
What does this man have to say?
I have no idea what he's about to say.
And elections, forget about it. That's over.
Forget about it.
That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave.
These two guys behind
What
him,
does
they're
that
probably
mean?
Like, what the hell is this guy
Is that
talking
the
about?
country we want to live in?
I think someone said that guy in the background, they saw him at the Capitol 6. January 6th, Capitol Police.
Probably.
Situation actor.
I hope this new ad
Crisis
campaign reaches outside the bubble to remind supporters of what
Okay,
a
fuck this guy.
danger he is to
So
our...
he says, what did he say? If Donald Trump gets elected, he will never leave. You know that. Forget about it. He will never leave. We watched 4 years. He is not president now. Therefore, he left. Right? So you can't use the same talking points that you used in 2020 during that election now because a lot of it doesn't make sense. If he gets they used it in 2016 too.
Yeah.
If he gets elected, he will end democracy forever.
Yeah,
He will start so many new wars.
Yes.
He will ruin the economy.
Yes.
None of this happened.
None of it happened. And wasn't Robert De Niro one of the guys who says he was going to leave? Or
I
am
don't
I
know.
just making that up?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm
What is Robert De Niro still doing?
Hoping he said that. So can I give you my 2 cents?
Of course.
I think Robert De Niro is projecting his insecurities that he has done so many evil things in life. And he's rubbed shoulders with politicians, big government, big tech. He's done all this stuff, and he's made some very poor decisions. And because, Robert De Niro, you've made some very poor decisions in life, you realize, and maybe with a little bit of pinch of truth, that a man like Donald Trump will open up the floodgates. He'll open up transparency. He'll open up disclosure. And maybe, Robert De Niro, you're just trying to get ahead of the curve and say all this stuff because if it comes out that you were diddying, let's just say younger people, or you were diddying things here and there, or diddying things to and fro, however you'd like to play, maybe, just maybe, I think he's projecting his insecurity. That's what most people do when they're caught in a trap, is they project their issues onto somebody else. Isn't that what Democrats do effectively well? They say, they just gaslight us all the time. I think this is just gaslighting. I think he is projecting his own personal insecurities, and I would love to see what disclosure would look like behind his history and past. Faux show, because I'm sure he is not spotless.
So I got a question for you. Is he the Diddier or the Diddie?
I think he's been on both sides of the... I think he's been on the receiving end.
Chinese finger cuffs?
Yes, I think he's diddied, and I think he's been diddied, if you know what I mean.
It just sucks because he made the best movies. I really enjoyed them growing up. And there's so many movies I really appreciated. And to see him like this, it's almost ruining my childhood.
Well, because when you go back and watch those movies, you think about this cuck, and you're like, dude, man, you were such a cool dude.
Those movies are the worst. I can't watch them anymore.
What was your favorite movie, Robert De Niro movie from back in the day? I got it right up.
Bronx Tale?
No, Heat.
Heat.
You remember Heat? That gun battle, dude? One of the best gun battles on the street. Heat. Check it out. That was great. It's unfortunate that when you watch it now, you're going to look at this old man and be like, dude, you're just a cook. It's unfortunate.
Bronx Tale. I like that one.
Bronx Tale. You didn't like, what was the Ben Stiller one?
Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents.
That was funny.
That was funny. That was good.
That was cute.
Would you like to milk me?
Not anymore. It was more of an ad. Now we find out.
Oh, dude, there you go. Future proofs past,
Yeah.
guys.
He's like, hopefully this goes viral.
Yeah, that's right.
How many times has he said it at a party?
See, there's that Matt. There's that Matt.
Can you pull up this clip? Well, I'm going to shift gears here. Look how big tech manipulates us.
Ooh.
We were talking about this clip at the same time during lunch.
It just shows that they're listening. You know, they're always listening, guys. They're always listening to us. So
Yeah, I ran into this clip last night and I found it fascinating. Rarely do I run into situations where I'm like, I've never considered this before.
let's play the clip.
But somehow, this one kind of blew my mind.
This is the most insane example of how everyone is experiencing completely different social medias at the exact same time. Like,
You can turn that volume
this
up.
video, my boyfriend said he'd be over by 3 after golfing. And, like, it's just her every half an hour taking a video saying, oh, he's still not here. And it gets to, like, 5 or 6 p.m. and he's still not here. Okay? I opened the comments of this video and kind of as I expected, everyone was saying, oh, that's really rude. It's the disregard of her time. I don't like him. Did he communicate with you? If not, then that's a red flag. Okay? Fair enough, you know? I send this video to my boyfriend who was sat next to me. And then I said to my boyfriend, lol, look at the comments. Bear in mind, these comments were coming up at the top of the list. So as soon as you open the comments, these are the ones that came up for me. Tell me fucking why. My boyfriend opens the comments on his phone. Again, it's the first list of comments that come up. It's the same time on the same video. Or you could get your own hobby instead of waiting around for him. Like, God forbid he has a good time. He meant before 3 a.m. He's ahead of schedule. No fucking wonder we're all so divided when you can look at the same comments on the same video and it'll change them based on who you are and I presume based on, like, other activity in the app. Like, because people look at the fucking comments of a video to gain perspective and see how everyone feels about that video. Like, I do that. I think everyone does that. So if we're looking at it from 2 completely different angles, and the only thing that I can assume really that's that different about our interactions with Instagram is that he's a guy and I'm a girl. And so obviously these are all like on his side and all of mine were on her side. What? Also,
Yes.
obviously there are millions of other examples why we're so divided.
So this
but
is part
this
of
is not
the
helping.
this
Like,
is part of the awakening.
also,
This
in
is
this
part of
specific
the
situation,
noticing.
in, like-
This is part of people realizing that we are truly live in the Matrix, and the Matrix movie from the 90s was not fiction.
Documentary.
It was a documentary of this. And I can tell you so many examples of when I've sensed when I've been talking about something. I'm sure you guys have examples out there because you guys are in the internets. When you've been talking about something, 5 minutes later it comes up on your cell phone for an advertisement for that toothpaste that you were just randomly talking about, or that dog parasite, pill that you said that you needed to get. That true story. We're talking about dog parasites with my wife, and literally a couple hours later, it's like, "Ooh, this is the easiest thing to get parasites out of your dog." And it was, of course, ivermectin, which is apparently the best thing for everything. And so clearly, Matt, we live in different matrices, and the question is how pervasive is it really? That is the question.
Dude, it never fucking occurred to me that if you and I, or me and my wife, or whoever else, were watching the same video, that the comment sections would be tailored specifically to me.
Yeah, and tailored to the things that you would react to emotionally.
It never occurred, and I was like blown away. I'm like, it makes so much sense. I felt so stupid for not even considering the possibility that that could be true.
Oh, double rainbow.
Because how often, and I'm thinking about it, right? And people are like, oh yeah, I went on this Biden post. All the Trump people go on this Biden post, and it's like, oh yeah, look, we're ratioing Biden. Are you?
No, you're not.
They're just showing you the comments that you want to see.
Yeah.
They're showing you the comments that you think you agree to, but they're not showing you the other side of the comments. Who knows what's on the other side?
Yeah.
We're watching the same exact piece of content, and we're living in different realities.
100%.
We're literally locked in our own digital dungeons.
Yes.
Where you We watch the same piece of information. The reaction, you think, oh yeah, we got him. We're ratioing him. How many people say that shit? Oh look, we ratioed him. You don't know that now.
You don't know that? Because on the other side of your
They're just making you feel good.
Exactly. You're going to read these comments, and you're going to get all these comments that'll be like, yeah, we're ratioing them. Yeah, we're crushing it. And guess the person next to you who's a liberal, all of their comments are Krasentine or whatever his names are. And all the liberals, and they're like, we're crushing it. Biden's What was that one thing that we watched the other day, last week, of those high schoolers? Go Biden, Biden's back. All right. Biden's back. All right. How does the song go? I don't know. Like, they think they're crushing it.
And they're the people who love Biden, if they're out there, or maybe they are. Maybe we're not even showing them. Maybe there are fucking 82 million people out there. Maybe there are 82 fucking million people out there that love Joe Biden, and we never see them because we're not in the same matrix any longer.
And they love getting sniffed.
Maybe they love being sniffed. Maybe some people wake up, go out in the morning, and be like, bro, I'm going to go to a Biden rally today, and maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get sniffed. Maybe there's people like that exist. I don't think they exist because the Matrix doesn't show me that they exist. Maybe they're hidden on the other side. We live in fucking separate realities.
Yeah, we truly do. We truly do. And I love that people are waking up to this. I love that people are waking up to this because the cracks in the Matrix, the cracks in the dome of flat Earth, right? They're starting to reveal themselves.
We'll get back to that. I think it was like a few months ago. I started a X account that only followed liberals.
Ooh.
And I haven't revisited that in a while.
Maybe it's time to revisit.
I think it's about time that we get that account active. And every time there's something viral or something trending in the news, we got to see what the other side is seeing from that perspective.
Yeah, but
that's the only way at this point.
But you have to quarantine that account from any other bleed over.
Different browser, different laptop.
Yeah.
Just completely put it on a different network.
Yeah, but I would actually.
That's the only possible way that you actually see. If you want to know what the truth is, you have to be able to see it from all the angles.
I don't think it's going to work.
You think they'll know?
No, they'll know because the moment that this is the liberal phone versus the conservative phone. Once they get into proximity to each other, once they connect to the same network, all the data is gonna flow, and they're gonna be like, this guy's trying to fuck us, and it's not gonna work. You literally have to find yourself a blue-haired sheepdog who lives on the other side of town and say, look, fuckstick, I want to try an experiment. You hate me. I love you because I'm a regular human being, but you live in a different matrix. Is there a way for us to somehow share in a non-shareable pool where it adds data? Like you'd send this in some random Dropbox so I can see what's going on. So there absolutely is no bleed over. I think the matrix is too strong, bro. I think the algorithms are too strong that you would not be able to get a non-biased view from both perspectives.
I'm going to put it on a fresh laptop. I'm going to only open that laptop.
Yeah, but they knew that you bought that laptop with your credit card that's connected to 19 other transactions throughout that entire process.
Start over.
I'm
going to buy a new used laptop from Craigslist.
Yes.
And I will pay in
Bitcoin.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
And then I will only open it at Starbucks.
Yes. The most liberal Starbucks that you can find.
And I will leave my phone across the street in the car. And I will check that Twitter account on occasion. And what we will find out
is a lot of work.
Dude.
For science.
Okay, it's a lot of work.
This is a lot of work.
On the flip side of that, if you want to know what the other side is saying, that the fact that you have to go through all these loops and bounds in order to just see what they see is fucking crazy.
That actually is a point worth noting.
I can't see their side.
They don't want you to see
because everything is connected. We're all connected. They know my phone is next to your phone. Everything in our studio is connected, whether it's physically connected or not.
Yep, and they
because
know
we're in the vicinity.
Of course, yeah. And you're neoconservative. I'm neoconservative. Will is androgynous. I don't know. Like they're amalgamating all this data together. It's going to be really hard to get a fair shake of what the other side of the world and the other side of the matrix looks like. I think that's by design. It's interconnected. It's interlocked. There's so much bleed over. I mean, to be able to get a real perspective of what the Brian and his twin Krasentine. Why can't I say their names right?
Are they twins?
They are twins. They're the Krasnstein. Like,
I recently had one of them blocked. I don't know which one it was. I recently unblocked everybody.
yeah. Well, like you're never going to get the real perspective unless you hang out with them and say, "Hey, look, send me screenshots on this issue. Send me your inbound and send me the comments." I mean, it's going to take a real kind of Sherlock Holmes sleuthing, I think, to make this thing actually happen, because the complexities of our data and the complexities of our networking, man. It's just, I think it's the matrix is there to capture you. The matrix is there to contain you. You're not supposed to leave the matrix. Remember. You're not supposed to leave.
Well, speaking about being stuck in a matrix, can we watch the bird flu dance?
Oh, guys.
This is the new Matrix.
If I could say anything, this pissed me off. Like, my initial reaction was I was really upset.
We all remember the COVID dance. We all remember, what's his name? The late night guys, COVID dance.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
The vaccination.
Colbert, the dancing syringe. Like, you guys, let's set this up before we play it. Like, one of the most embarrassing things, and I'm trying to say this without judgment, but let's peace with me, peace with you guys, peace be with all of you guys. It's really upsetting that we had hundreds, maybe thousands of dancing nurses, dancing doctors, who we have now found out who were monetarily incentivized to get all of their patients and all of their clients this poison shot. And we've seen the numbers. Some of them are in the tens of thousands of dollars per individual that these guys were getting paid. And so there was multiple malfeasance going on. They were not giving true transparency, just like YouTubers have to. This is a sponsored video, right? Shouldn't they be saying this is a sponsored dance by Pfizer? Shouldn't they be saying a sponsored dance by Moderna? Shouldn't they be saying a sponsored dance by Johnson & Johnson? Oh, and by the way, weren't the hospitals supposed to be ransacked and overflowing with dead people? Like, you had all the time, and frankly, if I remember correctly, in middle school, it actually takes a lot of work to choreograph a dance. So these nurses and doctors...
I didn't do that, so
I was gay
on you
AF.
again.
So, like, totally no problems here, guys. It takes a lot of effort to synchronize dance. So you're spending all this time dancing in front of, like, hospital doors when supposedly the worst outbreak of virus ever hitting humanity, and you're there doing chicken dances.
Before we watch the clip, can I just say in my mind that I'm thinking about you doing choreography dance at your goth party?
Yeah, you guys don't.
James O'Keefe style.
Let's watch it.
Man.
Let's watch the chicken dance.
Let's...
Fuck am I watching? Is it real? Like, it's just the chicken dance. So, is it doctors just doing a chicken dance because people do chicken dance at even they do it at weddings now?
Yeah, but
This is not choreography.
but
I was expecting like
the point is that if you see the chicken dance at a wedding, there's a reason why. It's because maybe the bride loves chickens, and that was her thing.
I don't think that's why they did the chicken dance at weddings.
Yeah, they do.
That's like saying
Yeah, they do.
They did the Macarena because they like macaroni.
I've gone to weddings where they've done the Macarena because the bride loved that shit and she requested that they do it. That's why you do the Macarena at a wedding. The point is nobody in the history of ever woke up at this clinic or this hospital where they're dancing and saying, "Hey guys, you know what? Let's take our time out of all of our schedules this morning from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock and we're all going to do a dance and put it on TikTok." Like, you do that for a reason. The reason is the bird flu is coming out, and we have videos coming out of people who are so greedy and so haughty and lacking of situational awareness that they're thinking, "Wow, this is a great opportunity to get viral again and have all of my patients come in for this new bird flu shot." That
Is there a shot?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a bird flu shot? Anybody know?
Yeah, March 30th. In March of this year, they started creating it.
Ooh, can you get it? Can I get 4?
Actually,
I really like chicken.
the minimum is 7.
Minimum of 7.
Yeah, you have to get 7 shots first, and then it actually multiplies after that. So 7 shots times 2 boosters.
Well, if they spent $7.5 billion, I bet you it's really effective.
Well, you know, from what I understand from medical science these days, Matt, the more money you pump into it, the more effective it is. So maybe that's true.
Well, apparently spending a lot of money on a project is very good, and the government is very good, and they are very efficient at spending your money, because if you go to the Pete Buttigieg,
Should we just call him like Pete Buttface?
I mean, isn't it funny that his name has literally says butt in it? Is that so childish? Am I being stupid?
Well, if he was
That's where he likes it.
Will, inappropriate.
Inappropriate. Will, ban that guy.
Inappropriate.
Ban that guy.
He's on timeout. Mute him.
Mute that
Somebody
guy.
mute him.
Booty juice. Right. That's right. Paula trots a lot. Biden called him Pete Booty Juice.
Biden did?
Yeah. Pete Booty Juice.
Play the clip real quick.
That's what we call him now. Booty Juice.
Booty juice.
Not gay at all.
Highway Administration says only 7 or 8 charging stations have been produced with a $7.5 billion investment that taxpayers made back in 2021. Why isn't that happening more quickly?
So the president's goal is to have 500,000 chargers up by the end of this decade. Now, in order to do a charger, it's more than just plunking a small device into the ground. There's utility work, and this is also really a new category of federal investment.
All right.
But we've been working with each of
$7.5 billion to build a electric charger infrastructure network, and to date they have built 7 or 8, and they built 7 or 8. How the fuck do you not know it's only 7 or 8? How can you not tell the difference between 7 or 8? Say 7 or say 8.
Or say 10. Just round it up.
Round it up. No one's going to fact check
say
you.
about
You just
10.
say about 10. 7 or 8?
For how
You
much?
can't-
How much money?
$7.5 billion. And they can't count to fucking 8. You don't know how many you built? It's 7 or 8? You only built 7 or 8. How can you not know if that's 7 or 8? $7.5 billion.
So we're talking about $1 billion a charger.
Well, or more or less, depending on if it's 7 or 8.
So maybe it's $1 billion per charger. Maybe it's 800 million per charger.
7 or 8.
Like, what's so...
How many kids you have? 7 or 8. It's $7.5 billion. You don't know how many you built?
Man. Like,
You're guesstimating?
guys, we're laughing at this,
It's so stupid.
but it's beyond stupid. It's
$7.5 billion.
It's beyond stupid. Like, this gets to a point, Matt, where it almost feels like it's by design. Like there's not a human in the world who would say, I'm going to give you, let's reduce the numbers, because billions are big numbers. Nobody understands that, right? No one in the right mind would ever go to someone and say, I'm going to give you $7,000. And for that $7,000, you're going to build me a penny network. And the network is going to have, what did he say, 500,000 chargers were supposed to be part of this $7 billion? So let's
No. He spent $7.5 billion to date, and the goal is to spend more money to hit half a million chargers by the end of this decade.
I apologize. I heard it wrong. I thought it was $7 billion to get to 500,000, and they've only churned out 7 or 8. But apparently,
They spent $7.5 billion,
And they only got 7 or
7 or 8.
and they have,
It's quite vague and unclear.
they basically have 500,000 to go.
Well, if we're rounding up and down,
or 499,993 to go.
or 94 or 92. You know what I mean? How do you not know?
I mean, we're laughing about this, but
It's so stupid. They are so incompetent.
Oh,
They are so reckless with our money.
where did it go? Where did it go?
$7.5 billion.
So
That's a lot of damn money.
But that's the thing, Matt. Come on, this lady, this news anchor, she should be asking him the most fundamental question, which is, where did it go then?
At least
Where did it
she
go then?
laughed him off a little bit. It shows awareness. But come on, $7.5 billion for 7 charging stations?
Everybody out in chat, you know your next question would have been, where did it go then? Right? Wouldn't that be your question? Or, so who's getting that money? We need that money. The Matt Kim podcast needs this money.
Financial transparency is seriously lacking within government.
It's
You
beyond.
have no idea where they spend their money. They'll never tell you where they spend their money. They hide it in categories like other.
Yeah.
No one knows what other is.
Or special projects in the DOD. Like, what does special projects means?
Miscellaneous.
Yeah, it means that we're going to buy all this LSD and give it to all of our prisoners. Oh wait, that already happened.
Because also another talking about waste of money. If you go to this clip, Will, the Biden administration and the Pentagon spent $320 million to build a temporary Navy pier.
Oh yeah.
They started it last month. They just got done with it. Within 3 days of building this $320 million Navy pier to help the people of Gaza get their supplies and humanitarian aid, number one, 0% of the humanitarian aid went to the people actually.
Yes, we know.
And number two, the bridge is in the water.
Was it built by American servicemen or was it built by locals?
American servicemen. We spent 1,000 soldiers and sailors were sent there, $320 million, and the bridge is literally in the water.
I think you and I could have done better with Home Depot runs and probably put that thing together better than these guys. Like, this is crazy. This is like,
It is just incompetence from the administration from the top down. Every single project that they start, every single project that they say they're using your money on, they waste money, they lose money, they can't allocate money, and the projects that they actually do finish fail.
it's,
And there is zero accountability. Oops, sorry.
oops, sorry.
It's climate change. It's not our fault. It's the climate.
And yeah, and actually, remember 2020, 2021. Remember, one of the best ways for you to fight against climate change was get your booster shot.
Yeah. Fight climate change. Get a booster.
That's right. I mean, we kind of chuckle at this. We're obviously disappointed at this, but there's a greater clearly issue that has been plaguing us for decades, which is our government spending is so ineffective and so inefficient. And I don't want to get into conspiracies because I don't know the answers, but it just seems like, Matt, if I were to put my finger in the air, it just seems like a lot of this money is just getting laundered to other rich people, because you cannot tell me that this thing right here that we're looking at cost $320 million.
$320 million.
And you cannot tell me that Pete Buttigieg spent $1 billion
For one
each
station. Give or take, depending on a 7 or 8.
Where did the money go, man? Where did the money go?
If you have money to just give away to failed projects, if you have money to give away to people
Come
that are
on.
not even citizens to be here, but you charge people to cross a bridge, the New York Easy Pass,
Easy pass, yeah.
they collect in a year about the same amount that the New York City government has given away to illegals.
Nice. Thanks,
So-
thanks, New Jerseyans, for all your tolls you're paying for all the illegals in New York.
So they say they need to collect tolls because they need it to do beautification, to maintain the bridge, to help out with traffic. That's why they say they have to collect the $1 billion in tolls. If you have $1 billion to just give away to illegal migrants, you had the money to maintain the bridge by yourself.
That's using your brain, though, Matt.
Why do you collect the toll if you have the money to give away anyway?
Well, I think you're overthinking it, Matt. Because if you have a brain and you make decisions like this, you unpack it like this, then it seems like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
Well-
It's unfortunate.
Thinking about migrants, can you pull up the clip, Will, of the... I can't make this shit up, dude. Mexico is now deporting Americans back to the United States in a strange turn of events. undocumented Americans who are looking for lower cost of living in Mexico are driving up inflation in the country. This has
way.
led Mexico to begin deportation of anyone that doesn't belong.
No way. Oh, I want to see that. I want to hear this. What is this all about?
Mexico is now deporting Americans back to the US because they're fed up. So recently, people in Mexico have been complaining because there's been an increased amount of Americans moving to Mexico without documentation. This has been causing inflation in Mexico since Americans usually don't pay any tax, and they pay in US dollars, so prices have been going up. Just in the past 60 days, there's been over 240,000 immigrant apprehensions, and over 7,000 of them have been deported so far. The reason people are fleeing from the US to Mexico is because they can't afford to live in America anymore, and in Mexico, the US dollar has a lot more value and can go a longer way. However, because of this, people in Mexico are also feeling like Americans have been colonizing in a lot of parts of Mexico. And for locals, it's been a struggle since businesses have been naturally raising prices in response to this. People in Mexico are saying this is decreasing the quality of life over there, and everyone using pesos now having to pay more to buy anything. Mexico's now deporting.
Wow. Okay.
You can't make this shit up.
Can you imagine the poor 47-year-old white guy who's thinking to himself, man, this country has betrayed me. Everybody hates me.
I'm going to Mexico.
Everybody in the news says I'm racist. All the politicians say that I'm the #1 threat against democracy. And all of my neighbors who are different colors than me, they hate me now. They think I'm a terrible person. You know what? I just can't afford to live in America anymore. And he goes to America. He's thinking, man, my dollar's going to take me far. And then he gets his ass deported back to America, bro. The white man cannot win.
Can't win anywhere.
You can't win.
Can't catch a break.
You
can't catch a break.
If you get deported I'm saying white guy, please, peace be with you guys. You know I'm making jokes here, but if you're the poor key idea, poor white guy who's like, dude, I can't make it here in America, and then you go to Mexico and you get your ass deported, you are literally worse than the migrants coming into America. Like you have Mexico don't even want you.
If you're undocumented, leaving the country, you go into Mexico, it means you did not have maybe travel, and maybe you don't have your U.S. passport back, so you don't even get to come back into the United States. So do you have to sneak into your own border?
Dude.
They're like, fuck, they're trying to get rid of me. I gotta go back home. Hombre. Can I roll?
Homie.
Can I roll down here?
Yeah, that's what you. Hey, Cholo, man, we gotta run a deal here, man. I can't wait, dude, bro. Like, I can't believe over 200,000.
I've been apprehended in the last 2 months.
That's kind of embarrassing, though, man. Like, what happened to you this summer? I got arrested in Mexico. Why?
I was using dollars. They're on to me.
I was trying to escape America, but they ended up deporting my ass back, and now I got a record.
How are they better at apprehending and removing people than we are?
Matt, you're too close over the target. You can't ask questions like that.
How is it easier to apprehend and remove people from Mexico back into the United States than it is to apprehend and remove people from the United States back into Mexico?
You're too close to the target, bro. You can't ask questions like that, man.
Like, people don't see the absolute irony in all of this, the ridiculousness of this whole story.
Like, I was blown away, man. Like we look, our government and our surveillance state, when you send over $200 through Venmo, they're going to make sure that you get taxed on that. And, but we can't find Epstein's client list. We can't find the billions of dollars that are going to Ukraine. We can't find the billions of dollars that are going to, we can't find Pete Booty Juice and where the billions, 7 billion. We can't, but don't you dare send over $200 to Venmo.
Thinking about wasted government programs. You just sent me a clip today, and I want to talk about it. Will, can you pick it up? Because trending in the news right now, and people are talking about this new moon landing movie that's going to come out.
Yeah, my wife showed me that.
There's a new movie coming out. It's about the moon landing, and it's to get you normalize the idea that they faked the moon landing because they did, and people said they faked it, and they denied it. And now they're like, oh, fuck, they're onto us. Let's make a movie about it to normalize it and be like, oh, look, get over it.
Yes.
We made it.
Yes.
We admit it. Fine. you sent me this video clip, and I couldn't believe it. This guy found this. Is this real?
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, I think it's in Arizona or something like that.
He found the exact same location that the moon landing was filmed. Can you mute that, Will? I don't know what we're listening to. Yeah, there you go.
There you
Perfect.
go.
He found the same exact location that the moon landing was filmed.
Yep. And so the question you have to ask is NASA, is Hollywood covering for NASA?
Are they the same thing? Because I just learned today that NASA is.
Well, we don't want the Goyim noticing too much, bro.
What'd you say it was? What language did you say it was?
Hebrew.
Oh, Hebrew.
Yeah.
NASA is Hebrew for?
Satan.
That's crazy. I did not know that. I just learned that today.
You guys are out there listening. We got hundreds of people out there listening. You guys let us know. Did you know that NASA, NASA, is the Hebrew word for Satan? And if you look at the NASA logo, doesn't it look suspiciously like maybe a serpent's tongue? Something like this. Or maybe, just maybe, I'm just taking it too far. Or maybe, just maybe, symbolism will be their downfall.
You are noticing too many things?
Yeah, the Goyim are noticing too many things.
You're noticing too many things, bro. You're not allowed to see this stuff. This video, I can't believe it. And then now they're going to do this movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look what they're saying. Paula Trotzelot says T-. Do you remember when they go T-, 10, 9, 8? You know what they're doing? T-. Satan minus a T is NASA.
Huh. I was wondering where the T- came from.
Yeah. You subtract the minus
Okay.
T.
What does a T in a T-shirt stand for? Totally random.
I thought are we talking about Diddy again?
I have no idea. I don't know. Why do we call it a T-shirt? What's a T?
Oh, T means
T?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Anybody know? I don't know. I have no idea. I just thought of that. Where the hell does a T in a T-shirt come from?
I thought NASA meant to deceive.
That's the same
maybe
thing.
that's what it's the same thing. Satan is the deceiver, right? Same idea. NASA the deceiver, NASA Satan. It's all the same.
I almost dropped my coffee.
It's all the same. And so you wonder. It makes you wonder. We have sent how many billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to NASA, and all we got was a CGI. It's all we got was CGI. I mean, that's all we got was CGI. So why are they making this movie, Matt? Is it because too many people are noticing that there are ridiculous amounts of inconsistencies with the moon landing? Is that why they're trying to say, let's create a movie so that when people in the future say, I heard the moon landing was fake, the answer will be, no, they made a movie about that. No problem. And the reason they had to make a movie about the fake moon landing is just in case they didn't actually get there. They had to fake it so that we would still beat the Russians.
So are you saying that the moon landing didn't happen? Are you saying that the moon landing didn't happen, or that the footage of the moon landing was fake?
I'm saying that the footage that we see, that is the quote-unquote official footage of the official moon landing, well, let's just say Stanley Kubrick probably knows all about that.
So did the moon landing actually happen?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
We will get.
Have you guys looked at the pictures? The space machine that they have on the moon has tinfoil and duct tape on it, Matt.
Maybe it works on the moon. Have you ever been there? How do you know if tinfoil doesn't work on the moon? Good. I guess we'll explore that another time. Hey, Will. I think it's time. Brother.
Is it Will's Corner?
I think it's time.
I
want to
know what Will has to say.
I gotta know what he's got for us today.
I know.
What do you got for us today, Will?
What is this?
This crime is getting out of control. It's getting out of hand. Get it?
Oh my gosh. Is this guy really sticking them up with a foot gun? With a foot gun?
What the hell?
I think it's just a regular gun.
Oh, it's a gun held by a foot. How is he? Come on.
Wait.
Come on, bro. Come on. There's
Does he have an accomplice? Is that the guy behind him? Is there a guy that are helping too? So people who are just listening, because we do have people that just listen, it is a guy in a wheelchair holding a gun with his feet, holding up a jewelry store. Is this possible?
He's in a wheelchair, guys. He doesn't have access to his arms.
Well,
he's holding the gun with his feet, and he's moving around. None of this makes any sense, Will.
And you're restricted by vertical mobility, so couldn't you just duck behind the counter?
Yeah. You know what I'd do? I would walk my ass around him as he pivots his little go-kart around, and then I would push him out of it.
You have no idea how fast his feet are. You're totally guessing that he has slow feet. He could have super fast feet.
You know what? Being in this position, he probably has the fastest feet in the West.
Could be.
Fastest gun in the West, guys.
About to catch one in your ass. Fucking with the gun foot guy.
The gunfoot guy.
Yeah.
Dude, you're going to get diddied by the gunfoot guy.
All right, well, what else do we have
Do you
here?
guys remember those jelly beans that were like nasty flavors, but you had to like kind of guess like which one was which?
The Jelly Belly?
No, you're talking about
they
jelly
have
beans?
with like
nasty
nasty flavors.
barf flavor?
Yeah.
I tried a barf flavor one time.
We got skunk spray or licorice.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
That's skunk spray.
Oh!
I know!
Oh, bro.
What the hell, dude?
I had to watch it, so you guys had to watch
What the hell, dude? What are we watching?
We got
like this,
skunk
dude.
spray
Dude,
or licorice.
move on to the next one.
Oh my God, bro.
You got something
it.
else.
Okay, last one of the day.
Dude, that was like green slime.
I don't know.
All right, what's the problem?
She seems to have a foreign object lodged in her vagina.
Come on, let's get this shit over with.
Where's the foreign object? All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Tomorrow we have George Song on the podcast. He's gonna be hanging out with us. If you don't know, George Song is running for Congress in northern New Jersey, Bergen County, the area where I grew up. I don't live there anymore, but that's the area I grew up. He's running for Republican Congress. Someone I spoke to before. He's gonna come here to do an episode, so definitely check out. Can good and honest, hardworking, genuine people run for Congress and actually make it in Washington D.C.? That is tomorrow. And Goob, we're supposed to have Goob on. Goob got pushed back to next week.
Yeah, well, all I know, my friends, is have a wonderful day and don't have what we just had, which was emotional damage.
And
Will.
definitely hit the thumbs up on your way. Definitely hit the thumbs up on your way out. Thank you, everyone. See you next week or tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, Will, what the hell?
What the hell is that?